I'm guessing it's going to be the Yasuo for Julie. And so you want to make sure that the rest of the champions that are being locked in for SBTC also can facilitate knockups so that Julie has multiple options to find a way into the backline onto key targets against EVOS.
And by the way, the fact that we get this Lee Sin is huge. Like, TF has everything he wants right now. And it's down to SBTC now to find that early momentum, because they're going to have vulnerable lanes to gank early. You're looking at the presence of that Varus, and you're licking your lips if you're TF, because the only thing that SBTC need to do to win this game is to get into that Varus lane early with the Lee Sin, re-gank him twice, boost Kiral out ahead on a carry. I'm looking for something like a Kai'Sa. You could also, I see, pull out an Ezreal. Basically anything that does sustain damage in the mid-game. Senna, I'm not as big a fan of because she doesn't provide as much early-game gank assist. So I would be a little alarmed at that. It would just put more pressure on TF to win that lane by himself, to win that early game by himself.
You know what? I like that you brought up the Ezreal because it actually was a comfort pick for SBTC Esports for a long while.
Why.
Obviously their strategy and then their meta has shifted. Obviously incorporating Senna now into their comfort picks and all. But yeah, it might be an X factor here for SBTC Esports if they really want to push it.
It's also a gamble for SBTC that this game is going late. That's also what this Senna expresses. It's a gamble that SBTC are staking their claim on, hey, we think this game is going to last past the point of Varus dominance. And EVOS respond to that in kind, pulling out a Jarvan, who is this immensely powerful late-game jungler because of his ability to become a secondary tank, a secondary frontline for the team. That opens up a couple of options. We could go double tank here, and that would put a lot of the pressure to do damage onto onto Cat Satan and G4. And it looks like that's what we're doing with the presence of the Rakan. The other thing I was going to say is you can see a pivot towards an Enchanter right now. Rakan, I suppose, kind of fits that mold, but the drive for more utility in exchange for lighter weight, you certainly feel safer picking up the Rakan now that you have that Jarvan who can take a couple of hits from key carries, from key damage dealers, like Julie, pulling out this duelist, this Yasuo, as his final pick.
Yeah, Rafa, what are your final thoughts as the draft wraps up?
I mean, this is what we were expecting, right? As soon as you get Gragas and Lee Sin already, you have powerful knockups and engages and ways to facilitate a Julie Yasuo coming in. Now, EVOS have picked champions that can prevent the Yasuo from getting out of hand. The Jarvan doesn't necessarily stop a Yasuo engage from happening, but the Rakan, as soon as the Yasuo wants to jump into the backline with that last breath, immediately Battle Dance plus quickness, because then you'll charm up the Yasuo, preventing him from being able to get any further damage off of auto attacks and Steel Tempest strikes onto your backline in the Varus. And the rest of the champions that you have are pretty mobile. Riven can always disengage away from the Yasuo thanks to Broken Wings and Valor Shields. Ahri can Spirit Rush away and get out of danger. So I feel for SBTC Esports, even though they got a lot of comfort picks and they got their dream composition, this is still very much in favor of EVOS to play. So it's going to be requiring a lot of high-level execution for SBTC to win this game.
Well, we're gonna see if they can execute that high-level execution as we head into Game 1 of EVOS Esports versus SBTC Casters. Over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Mika. Welcome, everyone, to EVOS Esports against SBTC. I'm Infinity, and together with me is Omo. And Omo, now we have an interesting draft here for the season.
We sure do, Infinity, and I'm quite hyped to see this one play out, because when we talk about interesting drafts, what makes for interesting games? It's gonna be when you have two team comps of different styles butting heads. And that's exactly what we have here, right? EVOS, they're running a bit of a pick comp. They're gonna look for catches. They have the Charm from Ahri. They have the Chains of Corruption from Varus. They have Rakan to try to make picks, be slippery. Jarvan does the same thing. But when you look at SBTC, it's very clear what their team comp wants to do. And Senna is normally a very good indicator of that. When you have Senna comps like this, they like to ball up, run at your face, and run you over. Whether or not they can do that, we'll have to see, as EVOS, they have a bit of a cheeky bush camp here.
Yeah, Rich. Grand Entrance knocks up on Kiral. Kiral half HP. They go back with some damage, but will not follow through. No kills. First 30 seconds of the game, but this is a statement that EVOS Esports wants to do. We're going to be aggressive.
Very aggressive trading from both of these mid laners as well. Look at Julie. I love it.
Almost.
So aggressive. He was so close to lethal. If he had Ignite, that would definitely be lethal. But I think we touched on this before as well, right? It's really nice to see Yasuo's have the barrier, because more often than not, that little bit of damage you get from Ignite is not going to help you. The timing that you get from barrier, if you get one auto off, if you get one auto Q off, it's going to give more than an Ignite already.
Definitely gives you extra sustainability. But we're looking at early jungle roams into the mid lane. They want that aggression. They want that safety net for G4 from Valdez.
He even just pokes him. Yeah, and they want to contest for the scuttles as well. I mean, I like it, right? In this kind of volatile matchups, you have to make sure you have jungle interference first.
Yeah, and I think that's also the case because you have Lee Sin, so level 3 is going to be very important for him to pivot his team into that early success and early foundation for SBTC Esports. And Valdez also has that level 3 point power spike wherein you have the flag and drag combo that can deal massive damage.
Indeed, he does. Comboed with Ari as well. As long as Wind Wall doesn't block Ari's entire combo, that's a lot of burst. What's here?
Junero apprehend, gets 2, gets a kill, Tipper falls down, forces out the flash for Valdez. What was that?
That's a bit of a disaster, huh? TF wants to trade though. But G4 is here. Okay, they know.
Yeah.
They're just gonna back off. Yeah. What I've noticed as the group stages progress, we can assume that the Vietnam region teams are going to be scrimming each other a lot more, right? And what we see in a similarity is that they're starting to value this Darius pick so very highly. They want to play around their solo lanes, they want to play around typically mid-jungle, and Darius is just such a good, stable pick. You leave him to his own devices, he's hard to kill, like we saw right there. If you try to do so, he can definitely punish you, and Junero just turns the tables on Tipper and Valdez. How often do you hear someone saying that? Tipper and Valdez get punished.
Not often, indeed, because there's so much when it comes to jungle Darren synergy that it's hard for them to kill. Mid lane, it's just a roam from Kiral, misses out the root.
They're trying to burn the Spirit Rush from G4 because that would be super impactful for the 4-minute objective spawn timing. Not quite able to do so because, like you mentioned, Kiral misses the root. It happens, you know, we're all human. Skill shots miss sometimes, and G4 will just keep farming on with his Spirit Rush still available. I do want to look up for the next objective. In my books, I think SBTC have to be very careful about how they approach this. Because if EVOS have setup, which they should, because your mid lane matchup is Ari into Yasuo, and Yasuo can never push this by right, it becomes so hard for you to fake check them. But Julie just doesn't care.
Yeah, he dives in, We gotta get that damage up.
Oh, no, this is bad.
Oh my goodness! Quickness and Grand Entrance knocks him, gets the kill onto Julie. He did not know there was a 2-man roam for EVOS, and he gets slayed.
Yeah, and look at this. Rich being such a good guy support, even blocking the resonating strike from Lee Sin to make sure G4 can get his base off. But what's gonna happen right now? Rich gets caught.
Yeah, it's a root. It's a flash body slam onto 2. Explosive cast to follow up. Good engage coming from SBTC, but the charm is great. Connects onto Aquino and he dies.
It's starting to happen, right, Infinity? The pick comp from EVOS, it's starting to be put together here. Julie trading pretty aggressively, but the main thing is Aquino flashes in, but TF was unaware or unready. He was starting the dragon. He used his resonating strike on the dragon. He couldn't follow up, and that means that will just be Aquino using all his spells just to die. And EVOS now, I think they have full control. They're gonna wait for the Rakan Charm to come back online though.
Yeah, surprise attacks. That is important for EVOS Esports. As you keep on stating, this is a poke composition, so if they do that consistently, Charm, Rich and G4 can continuously have that CC chain. But SBTC apprehends onto 1, the Charm will connect, disengages, but TF with the safeguard comes through with the distance, and Dragon Rage knocks up onto 2, last breath to follow up, double kill for SBTC.
Huge fight there for SBTC. It starts off with G4 face checking. Look at that. He picks up the Twin Shadows right away. He says, I never want that to happen again. I don't want to face check. A lot of damage from Katsutan though. Tipper might think about this, Infinity.
Yeah, so much. And Tipper is here as well into the front lines, healing for Cut Satan. And now Riven jumps in. That's a stun. But SBTC secures the Rift Herald. And now Tipper, very low, fighting 2v1. But Rakan, Grand Entrance with a quickness. Huge! 2 kills for EVOS Esports and triple for Tipper before he dies.
4 dead on the side of SBTC, and that was with Tipper missing his ultimate as well. Wind Slash did not connect. Julie wants more.
Yeah, Julie with a knock-up, G4
Oh
with a charm,
my
tries to
goodness.
disengage, but Julie gets the kill.
Can I confess something to you, Infinity? I have a bit of a confession to make. But you can't tell anyone about this because it's kind of embarrassing. Well, I have to wait, right? Because we're going to look at this first. Windslash completely misses, but the fight is still good. Aquino is using a lot of time here to try to zone out Katsutan, but that means Tipper has so much space, he's not going to get one shot. Rich comes in, has the grand entrance, charms everybody up like the charming young man he is, and they take down 4 kills. Yeah, this is going to be Dragon for SBTC as well. And yeah, like my dirty little secret, right, Infinity, is that when I play Yasuo, I can't do the EQ flash even with keyboard and mouse. But Julie did it on the phone! It's insane! He's so good at this Yasuo pick!
Yeah, it's so massive.
Okay,
I don't
go.
know how he does it. I don't know. But look at that. It's a 3-man road carry for EVOS Esports.
yes.
Grand entrance to a miss though. That was so close for EVOS Esports.
It was indeed, and they do have to just back off out of here. A bit unfortunate, right? If they hit their spells there, might have been a kill or 2, might have been the mid lane turret. Both of these turrets sitting at just a sliver of health, just one hit and it's gonna drop. It's gonna be G4 once again missing out of the spells, but EVOS, they won this turret first.
Very low HP.
Nice kick.
EVOS Esports will get it. Nice kick coming from the air, but look at the backside. It
That's
is the
huge.
flank, but he will get killed. But look at last red. After he saves his
Nice.
life, they get the kill instead to
Wow.
Valdas.
It was a bit of a mistake there, right? The fight started off a little bit wrong for SBTC. The kick into 2 was not followed by Julie. He walked in the back. I thought he was gonna die. I think he thought he was gonna die as well. But he was just mashing his ultimate. And thankfully enough, there was a knock-up that saved his life. Great call there, Infinity. He gets out alive. He has 2 items right now. And it looks like Julie's Yasuo timer has started taking in this game.
Certainly, that last breath, if he did not pull that up, and he
Yes,
gets killed.
Yeah.
So much gold for EVOS Esports. He's currently
Exactly.
2-1-3. So much value if they get that. But SBTC, they're showing up their micro plays here, Omo.
Yeah, in this game, it's starting to look like it's gonna evolve into a 1v1 between 2 raid bosses. We see Tipper. Woohoo! Gets it
forces
up,
out the flash.
insane.
What? That was
He doesn't
bait.
want to risk
That
it
was
at
bait.
all. If he did get tagged by the resonating strike, what would have happened is TF would have came in and tried to kick flash him. Now I think Tipper, he played it a bit too conservatively. He could have waited for TF to try to come in before flashing, but you can't blame him for not wanting to take any risks.
Yeah, and now EVOS Esports going for the jungle invade. 3-man drone coming
boy.
up. Unero flashes in
He's got
on
stacks.
Rich. He got stacks indeed. Now
He's
it's a
doing no
4-man from EVOS Esports. They're coming with a party, and Rich goes in. Grand entrance, quickness,
that's huge.
almost slays out Akino, but with last hit from Valdes, they secure it. 1-for-1 for now, and SBTC Esports wants to go for more. They're going for the Black Mist,
Oh, boy.
tries to catch up, but Valdes, Flag, and Drag go back away. They're safe, but Unero is still going on,
Oh,
is
man.
still persevering. How can they do this? TF on the
Oh,
backside. They're going for a
no.
flag. Nice kick coming up. Flag and Drag with a knock-up though. But Unero still
Unero can't
lives.
die.
What is this? They're not going to get the kill onto Unero. And SBTC Esports is holding on. Rich is very low on HP. J4 forces at the flash. They need to go back
Oh,
away. But
the
TF jumps
snipe.
in once again. Triple kill. G4 will get slayed
the
down.
drone,
And
yes.
SBTC gets far out of that.
Alright, I think we're gonna have to turn the stream on. It's getting a little bit dirty over here. That whole time this was going on, Julie wasn't even there. He was pushing away to his heart's content in the Baron lane, but SBTC defying the fight regardless. And Infinity, you know the first thing we said, Unero, he's got stacks. EVOS don't care. They run into him, and that was the big mistake. He got his stacks down on the whole team. He basically one-shot Katsatan. And in this clip right now, we see how Unero cannot die. He gets the outer edge of his Hemorrhage. I think it's called Hemorrhage. His first kill on multiple people every single time, which is why he's so hard to kill. Now look at TF right now. He snipes Rich. That's one. He goes onto G4. He dodges out this Orb of Deception, and he Zhonya's the second charge of it as well. Just incredibly clean here from the members of SBTC. They pull ahead to a 6,000 gold lead. They have all the advantage in the world. We saw EVOS earlier today. They destroyed Alliance. They looked like they were back to championship form. But EVOS are saying, you know, maybe this is our year. Oh, sorry, SBTC are saying rather.
Yeah, maybe this is our chance to prove that we
Yeah.
can be the champions too, that we can make God bleed here in Wild Rift. But we'll see. For now, they're starting onto the Infernal Dragon. Let's see how EVOS Esports react here. Flag and Drag comes in. That's almost getting the skill, but the kick down for TF saves it. And now SBTC Esports goes for the counter engage. Guillotine will not get the reset down, but TF will get the kill. That will be Cat and traded for Julie. And now SBTC will pin down on Tipper, will also slay him, and that will be the 2-4-1 on top of the Infernal Dragon for SBTC.
And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you here, Infinity. I had no idea what happened that fight. I don't know how you managed to call it, but it was just a bloodbath. It was a slaughter. The big key takeaway for me there was that Unero did not get the reset on his dunk. And who can blame him? It was such a chaotic fight. How do you even choose who you want to dunk? But if he did, there would have been an opportunity for him to flash in and try to clean up the members of EVOS. The big mistake there was Kazakhstan was too close to the front of the fight, which means he got jumped on and wasn't able to survive even with his flash used. So that's gonna be big because next fight he's not gonna have that available. He really needs to manage his distances because dying at the start of the fight to Kazakhstan is gonna be a disaster here.
Yeah, it's the micro. It's so amazing for SBTC. They continuously bring up this micro mechanical play up against EVOS Esports, and they're just mashing down. And you're looking at that 8K gold lead for SBTC. So massive.
It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane, I gotta tell you. And a lot of that comes from Julie on this Yasuo as well, sitting at 10,000 gold. TF on this Lee Sin, 10,000 gold, 7-1 and 3. It's extremely impressive because when you think of Yasuo, he's not supposed to be dominant in the early game. He needs the items, he needs the crit, but Julie doesn't care. He finds the advantages and he keeps making them bleed here on the side of EVOS Esports, gets in the back line. Whether it comes to the fight or not, TF and the rest of SBTC, they're still doing so extremely well. And look at the map right now. It is all SBTCs. Tipper is trying to get what he can in the Dragon lane, but I can tell you it's not going to be a lot. Look at this.
Oh, TF with a kick, followed up by Julie with the last breath, gets the kill down, but Valdez comes in, Rich comes in, almost getting a knock off, but SBTC still secures the tier 2 turn, and Unero just jumps in, zones away the enemy tier.
A little bit ambitious there, right? And I can tell you that's exactly why Kazakhstan flashed at mid lane the moment he saw TF. Because he doesn't want to be the victim of that combo. He doesn't want to be kicked into last breath. There is no counterplay. G4 had flash, G4 had spirit rush, but he could do nothing. And he gets taken down. Julie and TF, they get another kill on the bot. They get the tier 2 turret at the top lane. They are, 7,000, 6,000 gold up. They're just gonna tear through this game, I feel, at this point.
Yeah. EVOS Esports is now saying, back away, SBTC, back away. We can't handle too much aggression. The follow-up from TF and Julie is like so synchronized.
Yes.
I think they're one player. They're one person
Definitely.
just playing two champions at the same time.
They want to go again, by the way. Look at this. Oh, this is a bit
TF
early, though.
for a
Yeah, that's a bit
flag
early,
kick,
right? You can see
Dragon
the
Rage,
distance in
yeah.
the minimap because we have God view, and TF was just a bit too early. Julie was barely out of range, I think, right there.
Yeah, maybe just zoning him away. Just go back.
Yeah.
We want to pressure A. We want to control top lane. Maybe.
Just sending him a message, you are never safe, G4. How dare you touch this side wave? But look at this right now. The one win condition left from EVOS. Tipper is trying to do everything he can down in the Dragon lane. And this is going to be Baron starter for SBTC, though.
Yeah, I think SBTC
don't know.
needs to send one member bot lane if they want to defend on
No,
this
they don't
team
care. They
push
get Baron.
for EVOS Esports. Yeah, if they get Baron though, this might be game changing.
Oh,
and
no.
EVOS Esports now gonna get pinned down. They're fighting 3 up against 5, and Guillotine almost getting killed, but Kazakhstan will get the kill down onto Akino, and this will change
Look at
things up.
Julie.
Julie into the front lines, goes
Wow.
for the knockup. Will get 2, but then TF jumps in. The finishing up crew gets the kill. That will be 4 kills. Tipper the only one left, but SBTC Esports, we gotta push. We gotta push. It's
We
the top
gotta.
lane open for us.
And I don't even know how that happened, but we saw Julie, once again, he got in the backline somehow. And when we talk about his Yasuo, we always talk about this. We don't see him. We don't know how he gets there, but he's always in the backline, 1v3, not dying. He didn't even have last breath because he used it on Rich, so he just dashed his way in. Tipper and a TF right now, a bit of action there, but it looks like it will just be an inhibitor for SBTC. They bring the goal lead to 10k. They get the Baron buff. They get the kills. They send the message to EVOS that SBTC, they are here to play, and they're just going to go for the resets, and they're going to come back. I think that might be the game here, Infinity.
Yeah, and maybe it's an understatement that they're only here to play. I think they're here
They
for
are.
the throne that EVOS Esports is currently having. They want that throne. They want that on the top of their head. saying we're the best here in Saudi Arabia.
Legitimately. And I gotta be honest with you here today, SBTC, they've put on some statements. They came in the first day of Group B, they didn't look as strong, they looked a bit shaky. Game 1 against Lions was close, they dropped Game 2 to macro differences. SBTC though, today, they look like a different beast. They look like a team possessed, they look like the first seed of Vietnam. They come in, they destroy the number 2 seed Divine, who have been looking just as impressive. And then they come into the second match of the day, and they smash through EVOS in Game 1. This is a statement coming out from them so far. Look at the jungle gold gap. It's 5,000 gold difference. TF is angry. He's a man possessed.
We keep on repeating this. TF is probably one of the best, if not the best junglers in Southeast Asia, if not the world. So he's showing it up. Now Explosive Cast goes for the scatter up, and EVOS Esports trying to hold on. Valdez is locked in, getting pinned down. SBTC gets a kill. Tipper will get a kill though with his ultimate. He's sustaining himself. 3v1 goes for the stun, goes for the knockup. Revive coming from TF with the GA, but in there comes through to the rescue into the backside. Gets a kill down on Katsidan. Apprehends onto one. Follow up by SBTC, getting the kill. Tipper the only one alive. He gotta run. He gotta rescue himself in this fight. But SBTC is locking onto the Nexus base. Tipper is knocked up with the last breath, killing him. And SBTC takes Game 1 of the series.
Extremely impressive performance there.